All right. Okay. We're back, my friends. We're in the building again. Let me move my mic so my brother Sam can hear me. Ooh, pay for play. Week 8. 4 more weeks of the glorious, glorious, glorious what we love to call college football. It's your boy, Roddy, in the building. Sam, aka Dumb Brain Picks, in the building. It's a big, big, big weekend. Okay. There's a lot of things that's riding on this weekend with both of our teams. Obviously, the big one is today, which me and Sam are obviously going to talk about later. But I feel disrespected. Okay. I'm a man scorned, and I have some issues to get off of my chest later on in the show, but I'm not going to, deal too much with my personal agendas and my personal gripes. We're going to let everybody come in and get their feelings off. So I'll start with how you're doing, Sam.
Yeah, energy's palpable today. This week is always different. Um, it starts like the bye week leading up to it. You know it's coming, and as soon as the week starts, all through the week, it just starts feeling. You feel it in your chest a little bit. I love it.
Hmm.
This game means more than any other game this season. I don't care what anyone says. Like it is always like I am living and dying on every single snap, and I have a
Hmm.
fucking wedding to go to tonight.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally, quite literally, the SEC West Championship.
It
This
is.
is the right to play. I'm cocky. I'm gonna say it. This is the right to play us. So this is huge, bro. Like this game, I think last year's game, I feel like was more kind of. I mean, there was hype behind it because it is LSU Alabama, but it wasn't as the stakes just wasn't as high, just based on where both the teams were at the time. But this year, this is quite literally a make
essentially
or
the
break game.
same essentially the same circumstances. LSU comes in with two losses. Um, Alabama comes in with one loss, looking to make the SEC West championship or win the West in this game.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that kind of plays into LSU's favor a little bit. We're not going to get into it fully yet, but like
Hmm.
LSU really has nothing to lose. Like they already took their loss in the West. Like if they can play season spoilers and they're the agent of chaos in this last four team playoff that we have.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I feel like this year is a little bit more important because I feel like, look, this is low key Jaden's Heisman moment opportunity. The stage is right there. Like, if he wants to have that Heisman moment, if he wants to be that guy going forward, this is the moment. Like, you have to show up in Tuscaloosa this week. You have to be that guy. You have to. I don't even know what his stat line has to be necessarily for him to like secure it, but the opportunity is right there. But like I said, we're getting too excited. We'll get to all of that, and we'll make sure that we cover LSU Alabama extensively for sure. But we want to get started for y'all. I know we're a little bit late. Sorry, you know what I'm saying. I'm on colored people time, but it is what it is. All right, you know what I'm saying. We're here, so it is what it is. Um, we'll start with Texas A&M and M and Oklahoma. Or Ole
Oklahoma.
Miss, should I say? Sorry, that's the state of mind I'm in. So Texas A&M kind of just like cruising through the rest of the season. They're obviously out of the SEC West chances. Ole Miss is kind of right there in it, trying to see, if they can potentially try to fight their way into a New Year's Six. I don't know if I have a lot of confidence that they're going to be in the SEC championship this year, but hopefully, they believe in themselves. I don't know. But when we look at this matchup, how are you feeling about this one? Because I genuinely feel like Texas A&M has the best chance of an upset in this certain situation, but I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see an upset coming. I don't think Texas A&M can keep up with Ole Miss. I mean,
Mhm,
A&M's defensive front is really good. Like, it's one of the best in the country. Don't get me
mhm.
wrong, but the back end is awful. And I think
Yes.
you saw it in the LSU game. Like, Lane is by far one of the best play callers, and he has the ability to protect his quarterback with these quick throws. And I don't think A&M secondary can keep up. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think that defensive front is going to play too much of a factor just because of how quickly they get the ball out of Jackson Dart's hands.
Mhm,
And I think the number's too low. I'm on Ole Miss -3. That's an official play for me.
mhm.
Um, I think A&M. I mean, A&M's trending for another 7-5 season.
Hey, look, maybe our boy gets fired. Maybe our boy gets fired. You never
Fingers
know.
crossed. Fingers crossed he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked about this extensively on this show, how much money they'll have to shell out to buy him out, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? People still buying gas every day, baby. Y'all be all right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you don't have it. It's just you're gonna feel stupid if you're a Texas A&M booster for hiring this guy when Coach Sumlin is basically giving you the same product on the field. But when I look at this, I just look at Jackson Dart, and I said this on Twitter Spaces this week. Jackson Dart can either be a top 3 quarterback in the SEC or a bottom 3 quarterback in the SEC, depending on who he faces. And I think the defensive front for Texas A&M is the reason why the line is this way. I expected this line to kind of be more around the 4 area, to be honest with you. So I don't know really what's to come of this matchup. I would be looking at the first half and maybe doing a live bet with this game just because like Ole Miss can come out and look, they've been really good at home as well. So I'm not sitting here and saying that, they can't cover this 3. But I don't know, bro. Like this line just seems a little fishy to me. You said you think the line is too low or the point total is too low?
Lines too. I mean, I probably both, but I mean, I don't think A&M can keep up with Ole Miss. And Ole Miss's defense hasn't done anything to prove to me that, or sorry, A&M's defense hasn't done enough to prove to me that they can get the necessary stops that they need. I mean, this is the best offense Ole Miss has played all year, or A&M's played all year. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it definitely. So we'll see. I'm a little bit squeamish on this one. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was very hesitant to bet this one. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. So we'll see what happens with this one. But we have an official play from Sam. You said Ole Miss -3 is the play. So we are in there. Now let's keep it pushing. And we're on to Bedlam. Um, damn. Whoever Kansas's head coach is, ching, ching, ching. Okay, you beat Texas. What? That was 2 years ago, was it, that they beat Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then you come back and beat Oklahoma 2 years later. Ching, ching, ching. All right. I would definitely be in that
Lance
office
Leopold,
asking
man.
for a raise because we a basketball school, baby. Okay. Like we got, Naismith, the former head coach. We not supposed to be doing this to Texas and Oklahoma. So Oklahoma obviously is going to want to bounce back in this situation, especially in a rivalry game. I think that Oklahoma State has had its moments where they look great. They have good wins, especially in that game against Kansas State, but they also have their moments where they look pretty shitty. So, how are you feeling about this matchup? Because this is another one where I'm like, I don't know, bro.
It's the last bedlam. You have to bet the over. That's just standing on principle, you know. Uh, I mean, yeah, Oklahoma hasn't looked good since the Texas game. Like they had the game come down to the wire against UCF. They had just abysmal performance last week throwing or having all those turnovers, like Dylan Gabriel. They lost to a quarterback that completed less than 50% of his passes and threw 2 interceptions. Like, it wasn't a performance that they just out physicaled Oklahoma at the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what Oklahoma State wants to do. They want to run the ball, and they have a really good running back and a physical offensive line. And I think they're going to be able to go kind of back and forth with Oklahoma. Like I said, I have to bet the over. I'm going to. I'm taking Oklahoma State +6 as well.
Yeah.
You're going to find that there's the longest CVS receipt that we've had today. So we have a lot of plays.
Yeah, I think this game being on the road as well for Oklahoma, 2 weeks in a row where you're on the road, I think that's really tough mentally because, I mean, obviously, Dylan was there last year. He did get hurt, so he wasn't there for the complete year, but he is experienced with this team, but I don't know if he's been in the fire enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he's been in situations like this where the stakes are this high. This is the last bedlam that we're going to see for the foreseeable future. So I wasn't really happy with the way he played last week either. I think he was good enough to win, but I don't think that good enough to win, especially in the game that they were in, the type of, shootout they were in, was good enough to, was good enough for me to give him any credit on anything. And then the defense, bro. I mean, for BV to be that defensive guru, I mean, I've said it last year. Like, I love BV. Like, I think he's a great coach. I think defensively, he's a fantastic mind. But I don't know. Maybe it's just hard to get guys to pull up to Oklahoma. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, what are you seeing with this defense? At least, whether it's the trenches, whether it's the secondary, whether it's the linebackers, whatever. What are you seeing with this defense that's really the worst?
I mean, I know Venables is like a noted sign stealer. Like, there's plenty of proof that he was stealing signs before the national championship against LSU. LSU changed all their signals, and after the third drive or whatever, I mean, maybe he needs to hire Connor Stallions. I don't know. He's available now, so I mean, I think it's the trenches. Like, they recruit really well on the defensive line, and I don't know how they get manhandled like this. Like, Oklahoma or Kansas ran the ball for more than 200 yards last week on him. Kansas with a backup quarterback. It's just not a good look, man. It's I don't know how they can't figure it out in the trenches because they keep having these incredible recruiting classes where they land like one of the best defensive tackles and edge rushers in the class, and they just can't put it together. I mean, that's the most baffling thing. Like, you're not seeing them recruit very highly at the linebacker level or the DB level that they are on the defensive line, and it still just isn't like clicking. I don't know what it is, and that's what carried Clemson to such like their success was how they would reload on the defensive line and how that would be an absolute terror in all the games. So like that Clemson played. So I mean, you got to figure it out in the trenches, especially whenever you're coming into the SEC.
Yeah, look, bro, I'm telling you right now, like we have a upcoming date with them, and if I was
coming to Death Valley next year,
fan, I wouldn't be fancy of that. But look at this, bro. Let's just look. You mentioned Connor Stallions, like, bro, the recording glasses, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, we'll get to Michigan
from Michigan
later,
State.
Okay? It's just the fact that you told the guy, all right, obviously they paid off Central Michigan. I'm sorry we're getting off track, y'all, but this is just one of those stories we got to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about this with Sam all week.
It's the best. No. I think it's the best college football scandal we've ever had. Like, in our
I
lifetime,
think it is as well.
Hilarious.
Not only did you pay Central Michigan, you gave Central Michigan some money. If you didn't get any money out of this and you look this stupid, y'all are doing it wrong. Okay. You paid Central Michigan money. You got the guy, like we just showed you, with the damn recording glasses on. Okay. the Ray-Bans that you can record on, all right? Also, but not only that, you got the guy with a clipboard with nothing on it over there, and
And the
then
altered Nikes.
you have Nikes on and they're sponsored by Adidas. What the fuck is going on? What's happening? Like, how are you? And I said this on my personal podcast, the Players Ball podcast, where you can catch right here on Twitter. They're the worst cheaters ever. The worst cheaters ever. Like, how are you that bad at cheating? I don't get it. Everybody knows. Like, what was your take when you saw some of this evidence that our guy Josh Pate was putting up there?
It's so funny. I can't get enough of this. It's hilarious to try and see Michigan fans like defend that it's not a story, because it very clearly is. Like, it takes me back to, I don't know if you've seen the Pony Excess 30 for 30, one of the best ones out there. But there's a line in the beginning of that is, there were teams shelling out millions of dollars for recruits, and they were going, and they had a losing record. That is the definition of a loser. If you're cheating this hard and you ain't winning, like, you still can't win. Like, the correlation between, like, when Stalions was officially hired on after 2021 or in 2021 to now, and like the record before that, that's the most clear, like, that's the most damning evidence in my mind. And it's one of the best scandals we've had in years.
And give the people, for the people who don't know, give that. Do you know the exact stat for that record for when before him and then after him?
Let me find it. Talk a little bit.
I saw that too. And I'm just like, bro, like, I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like, you have every advantage that you could ever want in terms of the Big Ten. It's literally you and Ohio State. Nobody's going to out-recruit you. Nobody's going to outspend you. Nobody is going to have that much of an advantage on you that you would need to cheat like that. Like, I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. And I don't know. It's just funny to me. I guess we can keep it pushing while you find that. I'll let you look that up. But we're going to Texas, Austin specifically. And with this game, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical on all of these games, man. Like, with how well that we performed last week on Paid for Play, I'm a little bit skeptical of literally every game. Like I said, Kansas State had a horrible showing against Oklahoma State. I don't think that they played well at all. I don't believe in their quarterback at all. But Quinn is hurt, and he ain't coming back anytime soon. So I guess my first question would be, do we see Arch today for the first time?
No.
Maybe.
No. No.
Yeah, I doubt we see him.
This is a real defense. This is a real defense. I don't think you throw a freshman into the fire like this. Like, their offense was a little stagnant at times, but granted, I mean, kind of had it wrapped up pretty early last week against BYU. So I'm very interested to see what this Texas offense does against Kansas State, who's played really good football lately. Will Howard's playing well. The defense is firing on all cylinders. They've given up two games in the last, one touchdown in the last 2 games. They're playing really good football. You know, I'm looking forward to watching this one. It's an early kick. The noon slate's pretty loaded this week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I got Kansas State +4. Grabbed that earlier this week before the line moved down.
Ooh, okay. Now look, we've definitely seen Texas sleepwalk. I mean, like, we've seen them sleepwalk with competition that we feel like is lesser. I mean, they were in a battle with Rice until the end of the fourth. Like, it was not good. I definitely think that Xavier Worthy is gonna be one of those guys this week that is gonna have to show up. Like he's gonna have to show up. I'm reading here that he is 6th in the country in punt returns, 17.6 yards per return. I think it's gonna have to be special teams a little bit. That's gonna make the difference between them winning and losing, because like you said, having your backup in is not an ideal situation. So you have to have everybody else on the team step up in a way. And I think if Tavondre Sweat, who is a massive human being, I think he needs to show up as well and get in the backfield at least. If he's not, he's going to have to stop the run. But this is a game I also feel like we said with Texas A&M and Ole Miss, it's going to be about the trenches. It's going to be about the trenches. And if your trenches ain't right, then you might lose this game. So I would kind of be leaning with you. I have it on my book. It's 3.5 right now. But I would kind of be leaning the 4. I think this is a way closer game than people think. And I don't know. Like I kind of look, like I said, Kansas State has a 2-quarterback system, which I never really love, but I feel like Will and Avery are going to be able to at least keep this game close. And that's the thought of you too as well, correct?
I have the stat, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
2017 to 2020, Jim Harbaugh was 29-16.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he's lost 3 games and won 33.
Oh my God, they're the worst cheaters ever, bro. They're the worst cheaters ever.
With no real trophies to really show for it. Like,
no, not at all.
Okay, you won your conference. Congratulations. Like, is that what we're measuring this with?
I mean, Big Ten championship. I mean, you got to put something in the trophy case, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't let it go empty forever. But I want to get to Chuck's question. Didn't Arch say he was transferring? That's been the rumors. I don't know if he's actually said that like officially. But I think he has a good chance to come in and play next year. I don't think he should transfer, but let's put it in a hypothetical world, Sam. Where do you think would fit Arch the best if he were to transfer?
I'm not even going to answer because I hate the thought of it. Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
He'd go in there and start today.
I mean, you don't think he could potentially come down there to Baton Rouge?
No, Nuss bus, baby. We're rolling on.
Okay. All right.
He's not better than Nuss. I wouldn't take him over Nuss.
Yeah, I feel you. Definitely. And I think Nuss deserves the chance. I mean, he deserves the chance. That I'll say that. He deserves the chance. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, like we said, I'm leaning Kansas State 4 or 3.5. Sam has that as official play, so we'll keep it pushing. USC in Washington. All right. This one is another. I told y'all, every single game on the slate I am scared of. Okay. I am legitimately frightened. And it's after Halloween. So there's no reason for me to be scared, but I am scared. With the way Washington has been playing over the last 2 weeks after that big win against Oregon, the way that USC has been playing, specifically with Caleb, like Caleb has fucking stunk for the last couple of weeks, bro. Like he's not been good at all. And I don't know if it's the fact that he's sitting there saying, well, okay, we're out of the college football playoff. We're probably out of the conference championship as well. So I'm going to just chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just make sure I don't get hurt. I'm going to try new shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just have fun with it. I don't know what it is about them, but both defensives have been very, very bad. Like very, very bad. And I don't know who I want to pick in this game. I mean, I look at Washington and say, you're at the crib. It's -3. You have every opportunity to go ahead and win it.
No. Isn't it at USC?
Oh, is it? I thought it was at Washington.
Let me
Oh,
double
it's
check.
in USC. You're correct. You're correct. My apologies. Um, I I just don't trust either defense right now to do anything, bro. Like I really don't. So in the battle of two cheeks of the same ass, which cheek you choosing?
I'm rocking with the purple and gold all day, baby. Washington. Washington and the over. Do not be scared. This
Oh
defense
yeah.
at USC gave up 50 points to Cal last week. Cal. They let Utah's backup quarterback and a safety at running back go up and down the field on them.
Yeah, this is true.
This defense is awful. Washington's allowing 30 plus points to Stanford last week. Like, give me the over. I've got a 76.5. I'd take it anywhere under 80. Like, this has been a lock for an over the entire year. Like, there's never any question on if I'm going to take it or not. I don't care how perfect you have to be with the new clock rules and everything. There's going to be points. It's going to be, I could see it being a 40-something game, like 49-45.
Bro, like
But give me Washington.
the total is at 77 and a half, bro. It's at
Take it.
77 and a half,
Take it.
bro. Like
You're scared to go to church.
I just I bro, I just don't get how bad. And look, I think more of it Washington's complacency is due to, you just beat Oregon. You probably punched your ticket to, being in the conference championship for sure. So I don't know. I just personally feel like that was more of a mental thing for Washington. I think they're going to be able to pass the ball up and down the field. You've seen what happens when they play teams that are just inept defensively. They dominate them. And yes, I get that Arizona State is also inept defensively, but they gave the same USC team hell too. Like USC had to turn up in the second half in order to beat them. So I'm not even mad at you for taking that 77.5, even though that's an insane number. How could I be mad? Like I don't think defense is going to be an option in this game. So
No.
yeah,
And again, I cannot stress this enough. The total hit over 100 last week against Cal. Over 100. There was more than 100 points scored in a game against Cal.
Yeah. And
And they
Cal's
should have
supposed to be
lost.
known for their defense.
Yeah. I mean, no one. I commend Caleb for still playing and everything, but like the defense isn't helping him out at all. He's going to put up his points. He's going to put up 40 something. Penix might put up 50. Like they might reach 50 points they might reach 60 points by halftime.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And like Chuck just said, that defense is booty butt cheeks, bro. It's really bad. Like I don't understand how Lincoln Riley keeps getting away with it. I thought maybe, when we saw Oklahoma's defense be that bad, maybe it's just the situation of the circumstance, but USC's defense has been bad for like almost 10 years now. Like Ray Malaluga and all them boys, they not walking through that door. So I don't know. It is what it is, but we'll keep it pushing. Time for me to get to my personal agendas, okay?
Sitting back.
All right. Let me just say this. There was a team who we just discussed a little bit earlier in the show that literally is cheating. Just call it what it is. They're cheating. And we're giving them credit. All the reason why I know that, even Boo Corrigan said in the presser this week, look, man, we're not, judging these top four teams based off of anything that's on, the off the field stuff, even though it's kind of on the field, but it's more off the field stuff. We're not the police. We just want to see the games you play and the wins you have. Okay. So I personally don't understand how a team gets credit for dominating some of the worst teams we've ever seen. Like, yeah, everybody's talking about style points. Yeah, everybody's talking about oh, well, they haven't played in the fourth quarter. Okay, cool. Like that's straight, but it's Indiana. It's fucking they got Purdue today. It's Minnesota. Like, what challenge are they really giving you? Really? What challenge are they really giving you when you have we just talked about, like Washington, who has a way better win than them? Was it a dominant win? No, it wasn't a dominant win, but it was a close win at the crib against a team that is probably eye level with them in Oregon. So you're going to punish them for having a better win and reward a team who not only is cheating, but has dominated clearly lesser competition. Just for everybody watching, last week was the first time they played a team who made a bowl game last year. The first time. So why am I being victimized when I reference that Georgia has won 25 games in a row, haven't lost in 2 calendar years? But in my opinion, you're clearly giving the credit to a team who is beating lesser competition for the level of team they've been for the past 2 years and being in 2 semifinals. I personally don't get it, okay? I also don't get how you put a team number 1 who won a game by 3 points. Yes, it was on the road. Yes, it was Notre Dame. But you won it against a team who not only got smoked by Louisville, okay? They got smoked by Louisville, but they also won that game on the road against a team who put 10 players on the field for the last 2 plays, okay? And then you won another game against a team that was a 1-score game against a quarterback who did not complete any conversions on third down. None for the whole game. I think the kid went like 17 of 37. Okay. He hasn't completed more than 5 passes over 20 yards all year. But yet you're giving them the nod at number 1. And look, I'll get off of my soapbox after this, Sam. I just do not like how the committee uses different criteria for different teams. I think they're solely looking at the number that's next to the team, and they're not actually looking at how good the team is that some of these teams are playing. So, in your opinion, like, how do you feel about this, especially with the college football ranking coming out, on Tuesday?
It's a TV show. They're doing exactly what they're getting out of you, exactly what they want. Like
Yeah.
that is 100% for ratings at this point. It's all going to work itself out. I mean, like they put fucking Missouri ahead of LSU. Like what? Like I mean, there's plenty of examples over the years. Like the team that is rated number 1 in the initial rankings, I don't think even makes the playoff half the time. So to me, I don't care about it until 2 weeks before, like the last week of the season and the SEC or like the championship weekend. Those are the only 2 weeks that really start to matter. You start to see the picture that's taken shape and how they are looking at these teams. But again, it's humans who have no real criteria of grading these teams and like pick and choose what they want. Like I remember whenever in 2019, like it was LSU's defensive element that wasn't impressive enough for them. Like who cares? They beat fucking 8 top 10 or 7 top 10 teams that year. Like what
Yeah.
more do you need to see?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they pick and choose. They've always done it, what they want. And it's one of the things I don't love about the 12-team playoff is we're still going to have these people in a room debating like 12 and 13. Like that's where it gets a little bit more hairy. Like imagine if this year there's a 12-team playoff and Mizzou is the one getting in over LSU who beat them head to head in Como. Like what? Because we played a top 10, because we played one of your top 4 teams essentially on the road and lost to them. And then we played another top 10 team on the road and lost to them on a last second possession. Like, so are you not going to reward people for scheduling hard? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why I've stopped caring and not letting it like affect how I view it because it's a TV show. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, it's affecting my mental health, bro. It's affecting my mental health.
You'll
And I
get
hate it.
there.
And I don't like it. I mean, obviously, I'm being dramatic because I feel like just for all of the work that we've put in for the last 2 years, I feel like these kids deserve to be number 1 until beaten. Like, literally until beaten, I feel like we should be number 1, but like I said, I'll get up off of my soapbox. We'll go to the Dogs. We're back at home against Mizzou. I
Shocking.
told Chuck this, if he's still on the stream. I don't know what witch doctor he hires whenever we play them at night in Columbia, but she's working overtime. Okay. She's getting her money's worth. And whatever powers that we lose, when we go over there at night in Columbia, I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like, we had a better defensive front, probably the best defensive front that we've had in a while, and we were just struggling last year. So we go into this matchup, in my opinion, I think, like I just said, that number 2 ranking has been on the bulletin board all week long. And he's lucky. I'm sure Kirby got word that we were going to be number 2 before it actually came out for Bloody Tuesday. But I don't see a world where this number doesn't cover. And I know, a lot of people are probably going to say, well, you're betting with your heart. But just remember, the Dogs have, I think it's 11-3 against the spread against ranked teams. And I think these guys are just feeling disrespected, bro. Like, they have won the most games consecutively in SEC history. And now they're having to, again, prove themselves. So this is an official play. I got the Dogs minus 14.5. I think this is going to be a 20-point game, to be honest with you. I think even if, the game is, I guess, contentious, or out of contention, should I say, in the later stages of the game, I think we're going to keep the Dogs on. I just think we have to prove a point to the committee. So how are you feeling about this one?
Pretty in line with where you are. I think there's going to be a good amount of points in this game, kind of similar to last week. We
Yeah.
said Georgia was going to score a lot of points. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't this week as well. Missouri's defense is a little better than Florida's, I believe, but it's still not anywhere near stopping Georgia's offense. Like, they looked great last week, even without Bowers. I don't see any reason why that would be any different this week. I'm on Georgia minus 15. I've got a alternate team total line at Georgia over 37.5. I don't think there's any way they don't score under 40. And that's plus 120 on DraftKings if you want to take that. And then I've got over 56 in this one as well. Like, you give me the points. I think Georgia's offense is humming, regardless of Bowers in or out. And I think it's gonna really help you all down the stretch whenever he does come back. Like, Carson Beck's playing good football. Missouri's offense is gonna get some yards and get points as well, just because of the talent at receiver. But Stadium's going to be rocking. And I think Brady Cook probably throws an interception or two, help get Georgia get a short field. And yeah, give me the over, give me Georgia. I think they win pretty big. And like you said, try to make a statement today.
And I'm glad you said that, because they have Brady Cook at throwing the interception, 0.5 interceptions. It's at minus 150. So it's looking like it's going to be expected. I think in terms of game plan for this game, I think you just sell out on Luther and let everybody else beat you, to be honest. I know Dominic Lovett, who was on the team last year, is probably giving everybody, at least defensively, the keys to the game. I know they changed their signs and everything like that, but he's probably trying to give them tendencies, what Brady likes to do, what are Brady's strong suits, and what he needs to work on. So I just, again, bro, like, I don't see this. I see this game being a rough one for Mizzou. And look, we got our guy Chuck up here. Mizzou is 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 against Georgia. Well, they finna be 7-4, my brother. 7-4. It's okay. Trends end. It's all right. And he was saying this also on Twitter Spaces that we had yesterday. Cody Schrader, he had what, 80 yards, I think, or 90 yards. I don't remember how much, but on 6 carries last week, which, cool. Sounds good. But you're not ready for this defensive front, bro. Telling you that right now. Mizzou's offensive line is not terrible, but you facing them real boys this week. So I don't know, man. I just don't have any confidence in Mizzou in this game. I would not pick them to cover. So yeah, I got the dogs. You got anything else with this one?
Nope, 3 plays. That's it.
All right. Love it. Well, hold on. Let me set the stage. Let me set the stage real quick for this. I mean, we might be talking about this for 10 to 15 minutes, y'all. Okay. So please bear with us. All right. We appreciate you watching. While video is loading, please like the video, subscribe, follow me and Sam, and yeah, just get into it. Hold on, let me see. It's time. Time, brother. LSU on the road. I'm wearing my young boy shirt for a reason, baby. Okay. In Tuscaloosa. Hold on, I gotta hear the breakdown. I'm sorry. All right. We're here. LSU, Alabama. SEC West Championship, like I said. Things didn't fare well last time y'all were in Tuscaloosa. We obviously get that. But coming off the 2019 year, it's like, come on, bro. Like, well, how much can you ask for?
I mean, let's be honest. Like, that team had no business being a Max Johnson 30-yard throw into the end zone away from winning the game.
Yes, that is
and they were
true. That is very true. And Max Johnson, you know what we call him on this show, Mr. Mr. Nola Pass. Yeah, just throw it back there. Like when you have bad luck, you're supposed to throw salt behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it back there. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, Sam, because you're my boy. At the beginning of the week, I was on the Tide. I ain't gonna lie. It was just, how I say about Jimbo. This is just one of the games the old man wins. But then I started talking to some people. I started talking to LSU fans and Alabama fans alike. And I just don't think that if you put the task of scoring in Jalen Milroe's hands, I just don't think he's going to live up to it. Yes, I totally agree. Y'all's DBs are not good. Y'all have starters out. It's going to be a work in progress. Okay, I get it. But I don't see y'all being I don't see Alabama, should I say, being able to keep up with y'all. Like, this is a game where you need to score 35 plus points. Like, you need to. I know Saban probably is going to go into the game and he's going to see what they do in the first half and he's going to have his adjustments, whatever. But I can't see it happening, bro. I don't see it happening. So I have another official play. I have Go Tigers +3. Sam, we know what side you're on, but just give us a in-depth kind of synopsis on how you're feeling.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think this it's time to prove that this offense is the best in the country. This is one of the better defenses you'll play all year. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter. Jayden Daniels has played like the best player in the country so far this year. He's been the best quarterback this year. And everyone's keeps kind of wanting for LSU to have that off week offensively. And to be honest, I think that was Florida State.
Yeah.
Like that was the off week, and is the best offensive line in the country. I think this is the only time since Saban's been there that LSU has walked in with an advantage on the line of scrimmage. Like their defensive line isn't great for LSU, but Alabama's offensive line isn't good either.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a push. I think LSU's offensive line is one of the best in the country. You have two bookend tackles who are fantastic. Everyone's played great along the line of scrimmage. And I think there's just too many weapons. And if we want to get to the defense and the starters being out, Jordan Jefferson transfer from West Virginia, he's been our best run defender. I think him playing is kind of an advantage. Like, you don't have to keep him on the bench as much. Let him do what he does best and stop the run. Mason Smith's been playing a whole lot better. You got Harold, you got Omar Spates healthy, you got Greg Penn, you got you got pretty good front seven play. And at the end of the day, I think what LSU wants to do defensively is exactly what Alabama doesn't want to have happen. Like,
Yeah.
Tennessee was manning them up on the outside, and that played into Alabama's hands. Like, their receivers can beat you over the top whenever there's no help. LSU wants to play a deep zone and keep everything in front of them. And if you make Jalen Milroe do that, that's where he is not good. He gets better as he throws the ball further. And if you make him matriculate it down the field, he can't do it. He's going to give you something. And I think that's what's going to happen. In the history and in the time that I've watched this series, there's been huge moments from true freshmen over the years. Chad Jones, strip sack to seal the game in 2007. Tyrann Mathieu and Ed Reed in 2010. Harold Perkins, Mason Taylor last year, saved the game, probably won you the game last year. Boys become men and men become legends in this game, and it's time to do that. Like, they have the talent. You recruited to LSU to play DB. It's not what they're used to, but they have the talent. And just keep it in front of you, and I think there's no way Alabama fucking keeps up with you. I think LSU wins 45-35.
Okay, I like it. I like it. That was look. I like it. Where boys become legend. Look, that was a great pregame speech. Need to tell B. Kells to get you in the locker room. I think in terms of betting on this game, like I said, I do have the Tigers +3. It's just too contentious of a line for me to say that Alabama is gonna cover this. But I also have Jalen Milroe over 36.5 rushing yards. For the exact reason you just said. You mentioned the guy, Harold Perkins. Okay. Once we're done with the show, you can text B. Kelly and tell him, do not do that linebacker shit today, please. Do not do that middle linebacker shit. Please don't.
He's not middle linebacker. He's going to play the nickel because they don't have anybody else that can play the nickel. And whenever he's grading out as the highest graded coverage linebacker in the country, like, why stop it? I think they mix him up a little bit more and bring him off the edge, but still, I think he's going to play that Sam role, and he's been playing it very well this year. The bubble screens, he shuts them down so well. In my mind, I think he's in that role. Everybody wants to see him come off the edge just because of what he did last year, but at the end of the day, he's not gonna, like, we've seen enough. He's not going to do it.
Yeah, I feel you. I just think the reason that I said that was because I feel like this is a quarterback who, if you hurry him up, if you rush him, he will give you the ball. And I understand, due to the deficiencies in the back end with, nobody really being able to fill that nickel position, the safeties being a little iffy. Like, I totally get it. But I just really want to see him get after Jalen Milroe, bro. And I really want to see him, just take his head off. Like, and I know that's probably a bad thing to say, but I do, bro. I really do. And I think there are going to be a lot of blitzes from LSU this week because, like you said,
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I think the stats show Milroe's better quarterback under pressure whenever he's blitzed,
Really?
And that leaves these corners unprotected. And I think they do everything they can to keep the ball in front of them because that is when he's going to fuck up. If he has time in the pocket and he thinks too much, that's when he's been bad. Like, his stat or his chart from like 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, 10 yards, inefficient. He gets more efficient as he throws the ball further down the field. He's a deep ball thrower. He throws a great deep ball. but he's not to his development yet to where he can matriculate you down the field and nickel and dime you. And that's what I think LSU needs to do. Like they've played this zone defense really well since the second half of Missouri. And this is probably the fourth best offense we've played. Like Florida State's better, Missouri's better. Ole Miss is way better. Like they have a better play caller. And that's another thing that I really like in this game is that no longer does LSU have such a coaching disadvantage coming out of the bye week. Like it's not like Brian. I'm not saying Brian Kelly's Nick Saban when it comes to head coaching resumes, but being a tactician and knowing how to win the bye week is something LSU lost for 15 years. And now it's finally on a level playing field, and you're going up against his former offensive coordinator who played quarterback for him, who he knows all the tendencies for. He knows his tendencies. He's gonna know like what he wants to do. I get it that they've added this wrinkle where Jalen Milroe's out in running, but I still think that the defense is going to do just enough. And Alabama's offense isn't sustainable. Like they're not an efficient offense. They're an explosive offense. And if you can play this zone well and tackle well, which I think they've tackled much better over the last few weeks, like they've showed the improvement. They've worked at it. They have a bye week with Pete Jenkins coaching up the defensive line even more. You're not fully healthy, but I mean, what more? Like you have Mason Smith still. You have a good defensive front. You have the linebackers healthy, who I think are going to be huge in this game. And yeah, I mean, he said it last year. October's for pretenders. November's for contenders. Go out and prove you're a contender. You had 2 losses, but I don't think that keeps you out of the playoffs, especially if you went out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, like I said this earlier in the show's history this year. I don't remember who they were playing. I don't believe in Alabama's DBs, bro. I just don't. I don't. I love, you know what I'm saying, the idea of Kool-Aid, but I don't think that Kool-Aid is that good, bro. I just don't. Like he's just okay to me. Like he's not the guy in my opinion. And I think that when you have 2 guys like Brian and Malik that are gonna get vertical on you, bro, like they are going to get vertical immediately. I think that is going to come into effect and come into a play a lot in this game. And then on the other side, yes, you guys as DBs are concerned, but I mean, what are we scared of Benedict Arnold for real? You know, in Jermaine Burton, like I'm not really concerned with nothing that they got receiving wise. If they're able to run the ball effectively, I think that will be a thing. But again, y'all have been a damn good run defense. A damn good run defense. You know, not the best in the world, but it's been damn good. So yeah, like I said, bro, I got the Tigers. Okay. I got the Tigers, and that's just how I feel. I see you're leaning a little bit. You're leaning one way, but the LSU thing is this way. So he's leaning the right way. Hold on, let me see if we can get him back and remove him and add him again. But yeah, y'all, I really don't see Alabama winning this game. I just don't. And I know it's kind of hard to say that because it's in Tuscaloosa, but oh well, y'all be all right. But we have came to the end of the show. Sam said he has a CVS receipt. We've already almost been on for an hour. So, Sam, if you can hear me, what's your best bets for the week? Nope. Oh, okay. Well, look, we'll get Sam back. Don't worry. But I'll go ahead with my best bets of the week real quick. Like I just said, I got LSU +3. I think they're going to keep it close. I'm a little squeamish to choose the money line. I ain't going to lie, but it is what it is. I'm also taking the over on Jalen Milroe's rushing props. I think he'll have to run a little bit in this game. I know Harold probably is going to be within the secondary a lot, so it is what it is. But I think that Jalen's going to have to use his legs a little bit in this matchup. And he could very much get this in 2 rushes. So I think 36.5 is what I'm rolling with as well. I'm going to go, like I said, with the dogs minus 14.5. I'll post some more plays at Pay for Play if I have some for the Georgia game. But for so far, I just got the spread. All right. I can't take anything other than that. I also have the under 30.5 points with the Auburn Tigers. Don't know how they're even going to score 27 points. Okay. I know it's Vandy. I know they are only in the SEC to raise the cumulative GPA, but the field for Vandy. We saw a lot of Georgia players complain about the field for Vandy when they played them 3 weeks ago and how terrible it is. And I think for a team who literally cannot throw the ball, you're gonna need good footing. So I got the Tigers scoring under 30.5 points. I think they get in the high 20s, but I think it just stays under. So I got them under 30.5. And then for a plus money play, I got the Gators. Okay. I think this is a bounce back spot for sure. I think our guy Big Sam is dead in the water, man. Lost 6 in a row, scored 3 points in a game with your starting quarterback at the crib. It's just not good, bro. It's not good. And I think Graham Ertz, while he faced a real defense last week and we saw how good he really was, and we saw how nothing worked. I think he turns into fucking Tom Brady at the crib. So I think he's gonna keep on, showing his good standing at the crib, and I think they win. So I got Florida minus 3.5. That's at even money right now. And then we talked about him cheating. So I got Michigan over 42.5. Not because I believe in them. They've been studying Purdue's playbook all week. So, I mean, they know what's coming. So I think you said this last week. Like, Purdue is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, bro. Like, they are, if not the worst, like one of the worst. So I have no faith in them. I have no belief that they're going to do anything or make any noise in this game. Especially with Michigan having all of these allegations come out. I think they're also going to have a little bit of bulletin board material, and they're going to want to, flex on them. So I got their team total at over 42.5, and that is it for your boy. What about you, brother?
Sorry, Saban must have wanted me off the air. I was talking too much truth.
He definitely made that call.
Yeah, I'll recap. There's a lot, so stay with me. Washington 3.5 in the over in that game. Ole Miss -3. Georgia over 56. Georgia -15. Georgia team total alt line over 37.5 plus 120. Kansas State +4. Oklahoma State +6. OU OSU Bedlam over system play, have to have it. LSU +3.5. Over and LSU games I've hit in every single game. LSU over 60. LSU team total alt line over 33.5 plus 180. Go take it. There's no way they score under 34 points. Just go take it. That's what I mean. The offense is going to be humming today. And then I've got 4 more plays. Oregon State -13, coming off a loss. I think they play a lot better. I know Colorado's at home, but still, like, they gave up 40 points to Stanford in the second half.
Yeah, and Shedeur might get killed, bro. He really might die.
And they cannot defend the run, and that's exactly what Oregon State wants to do. So I think Oregon State's going to win pretty big in this one. They're coming off a tough loss at Arizona. Speaking of that, Arizona +110 money line. We got the dogs. We got the dogs today. There's been, like, a lot of these kind of evenly matched games have mostly gone to the home team in the Pac-12 this year. So I think, even though it's a little bit of a letdown spot, they won an emotional game last week. I just don't know that UCLA is going to come in and win and you got a home dog in Arizona. So give me Arizona money line. The last 2 I hate, but it was a gut play. Clemson +3. Ew, yeah.
Sorry. Throw up a little bit. It was calling me. I have no idea why, but it's something that. Let me not kill you. Because I wanted to do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's just I wanted to do the same exact thing. When I saw the line was at 3, I was like, damn it. That means Dabo's gonna win, man. I totally agree with you, bro. But I don't like it. But I agree with you.
No, I hate it in my gut, so it feels like the right play. And then finally, like I'm with you, Florida minus 3.5. I have no idea why this spread dropped so much. Like, is Eno's being gone really that big of a difference? Like, this team is not good, and Florida. I mean, Florida can move the ball. I'm kind of hedging out with this on a preseason future. I had under 5.5 wins. I hate bet Florida, but if they finish 6-6, it's still funny. So
Yeah,
I mean, give me Florida minus 3.5. I have a money line play as well as a hedge. So
okay, love it. Well, those are our best bets for the day. We appreciate everybody for watching our show today. So we went a little long, but we appreciate the love and the support. Please follow us at Pay for Play on Twitter. Please like this video. Please subscribe to Win the Day TV, our YouTube channel. And we will be back next week. Obviously, we got a big matchup with the Dogs next week with the Ole Miss Rebels coming into Athens. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see how LSU fares this week and going into the future parts of their schedule, and we'll see how it is. But like I said, follow us, like the video, subscribe, follow Sam at Dumbbrain Picks. His @ is right there in the description, so please follow him. At the Players Ball 1 for my personal podcast, at Roddy404 for my personal Twitter. Until next week, y'all, we appreciate y'all. See you later. Peace.